Hey, welcome back. It's Tuesday evening. We've already had our dinner and I'm cleaning up. So, yes, I am hand washing the dishes. I have a dishwasher. Well, there it is, my dishwasher. But, I grew up, we hand washed the dishes. We didn't have a dishwasher, but we did it because, well, there were 5 of us kids, and we were the dishwashers. And so, but now I do it for completely different reasons. I have arthritis, and this hot soapy water feels really good on my hands. So, I just hand wash them anyway. So, I thought while I was doing the dishes, I'd take the opportunity to talk to y'all a little bit about some of the things that I have had in my mid-century life. Growing up in the 70s, I was born in 64, so officially it makes me a baby boomer. That's the very last year of the baby boomers. And I was born in September, so I was born in one of the last months of the baby boomers, which kind of makes me, a Gen Xer for the most part. And so, obviously from 64 to 69, I don't remember a lot of stuff. I remember some stuff though when I was really, really little. I know that when I was really little, there were 5 of us kids, my mom and dad, and we lived in a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house with a little living room. It was like, I don't even know if that house broke 1,000 square feet. And we lived on the corner, a corner lot in a neighborhood. And those were some fun years growing up like that, because Christmases were fun, and all our neighbors were our best friends, and it seemed like everybody came to our house to play, because my dad would always do these great things, like we had our own water fountain outside, and we had a 2-story playhouse, and even at one point, for some reason, we had a pony in the backyard. Don't really understand that one, because he was a biter. But you never knew what was going to be going on at our house. And then as I grew older, I know why we had all those fantastic things. It was to keep us outside instead of in the house underfoot. But we always had the funnest house in the neighborhood. We had a pool, and then all of us kids would play stickball out in the street. And then one year for Christmas, and I'm the youngest, just about of all the kids. Well, I am the youngest of the kids in my family. And one year I got a plastic ball and bat. And for some reason that became the neighborhood ball and bat to play with, even though there were teenagers, middle schoolers, all different ages. We played with my ball and bat. But I liked it because it made me feel important. And so we would play in the street. But I do know that in those days, we would get up on the weekends, get dressed. Mom would feed us breakfast, and she would cook breakfast. She'd make either homemade, grits and eggs, and or oatmeal or whatever. Rarely did we have cereal and milk. It was usually something Mom made. She would take, I call it the flour breakfasts we would have. She would make, and this is after my dad got sick and things got kind of tough, but she would make fried bread with flour and water. She would make gravy with flour and water, which she would save any bacon drippings or whatever, and that's how she would season the gravy. And we would have fried bread with gravy over top of it, and maybe an egg on the side. And but to us, it was like eating at a 3-star restaurant. We didn't know we ate that way because we were poor. We thought we ate that way because our mama was a good cook, and she was a good cook with what she had to cook with. And so those memories are great, because now everybody thinks they've got to have just perfect everything, but you don't. You can throw something together no matter what. And so that's kind of how I learned to cook, you know, with the things that were in your pantry. Oh, that sun is bright coming in that window. Let's get rid of it. Yeah, a little better anyway. But we would get up anyway after Mom would feed us and go out, and that was it until lunch. She didn't worry about us because, you know, we were all in the neighborhood and we were all playing together, and we had all the parents looking out for each other. And we, you know, then at lunchtime we'd go eat lunch, and then we'd start over after lunch and go outside and play till dark. And it was safe to do that. We would get on our bikes and ride the whole neighborhood all the way down to the highway where the what we call the little store, the little general store was. And if we had any bottles that we found, we'd turn them in for the money and buy candy. But it was, you know, simpler time, and kids had more freedom. The kids think they have freedom now, but they really don't. Not like we did. Not to just run all day with your friends and on your bikes and playing ball and playing Barbies and everybody. What me and our next door neighbor and my sister and I used to do is we'd get all our Barbie stuff and we'd meet either on her porch, our porch, whatever, and just dump it all out and trade Barbie clothes and play Barbies and just, you know. But I never remember my mom, and I know she probably was peeking out the window and all that, but she didn't really have to worry about us at a time, you know, in 69, 70, 72, whatever it was. You know, we were safe. Everybody looked out for everybody. It was a happy time. It was a good time. And I know kids have happy times now. But as a parent, I raised my kids in the 80s and 90s, and I worried about them more. And letting them just, you know, take off at the beginning of the day and not knowing where they were, or not, you know, I mean, that was unheard of, because there was just too many things that could go wrong, especially with my last child, because she was born later in life and she kind of grew up by herself. So she, obviously, I'm not going to let her run by herself, you know, I wouldn't let her. But I just, you know, remembering back in the 70s, if you were born in the 70s, you remember running and being free to play with your friends and not tethered to your cell phone or a video game, or being scared that somebody was going to abduct you. And it was a good time, a time of freedom. And I just wanted to share that with y'all. I got lots of stories. Golly, one time I remember I was at my cousin's house and we were doing bikes, and I wasn't very good at it. They lived on a busy street, and I remember this. I fell over off the sidewalk right in front of this car, and what I see in my mind's eye, there were two teenage boys and a teenage girl in the back seat, and the horror on those kids' faces because they thought they were going to run over me was terrible. And you know, now I feel bad. At the time, I just hopped back up and got up and ran away, you know, because I thought, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble because I fell in front of these people. But you just had more freedom. Well, you know, apparently more freedom to get killed if you weren't good at riding a bike. But if you have any stories, you know, comment. Let's, you know, put your own video up, what you did in the 70s. All right, I guess that's all I have for right now. I'll have to show y'all some of the finds I went thrifting today and found some mid-century dishes and things like that, which I'm really drawn to, obviously, because I am mid-century. But I had a good time. The only thing that went wrong today is I got all my thrifting done, got to the counter, and their card machine was down. So I had to stop, leave, go get money, and come back, pay cash. But it's okay. I still had fun. So, all right, my next video, I'll show y'all some of the stuff I got. All right, love you guys. Bye.